All right, bet. So I know it's been a while since the last time I did a video, but today we're gonna be tapping back in. It's your boy, official Tyree Samuels on Instagram. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit the like button, and we're about to go ahead and get started. So today we're gonna be going over some different setups. Right, today is going to be January 10th, 2023, and we're gonna be going over some opportunities that could be playing out this week. And as you guys can see, I do have a list right here that we're going to be going through. So let's go ahead and get into it. So one of the first things I want to be able to tap into is going to be Euro NZD. So what I'm actually going to do is on a separate screen, I am going to. So on a separate screen, I'm going to. Actually, let me just go to the Euros. So we're going to go over Euro NZD. And just so I don't have to, like really touch my current markup, I'm gonna pull up a fresh chart on a different broker feed. All right, cool. Let me see how similar these look. Oh, so they don't have the this wick on there. Nice little manipulation wick. Okay, so what we'll do is I guess we'll just have no choice but to focus on this one. So pretty much what I'm looking at with Euro NZD, if I were to take these drawings off, the primary thing that I noticed was the first thing I was looking at whenever I was identifying Euro NZD would have been, where is the, all right, bet, would have been in this area over here. So reason being is what I noticed, this was the last, right, low before the market took out this high to get up here. So what the market did was it retraced, it went up. Hard to see, but if you were to zoom in, it actually took out this high for a liquidity sweep. And then as you can see, the market immediately reacted by, falling aggressively to the downside. So if I take all those things off, the main thing that I'm now focusing on is, remember, this was the last low before the market created this peak up here. So in order to be able to, be patient and wait for a good opportunity to be able to start looking for sales, because obviously, if we go back, right, higher time frame, you can see that this market leading up to this point was bullish, right? So leading up to that point, the market was bullish. Now, if we're coming back and focusing on what was left over, okay, the market came, broke this low, also broke this low, which you could look at as, the last low before the market came and took out this high, right? So whenever I notice that, this is the first opportunity I could possibly be looking for a sell, okay? So even though this already happened, just to show you guys how we ended up to where the market is currently sitting around right now, you can see that if I go to the 1 hour time frame, the main thing that jumped out at me would be this. So notice, right? So notice how we have this candle, this 1 hour candle right here, you can see was not mitigated. The market came back, reacted here a couple times, and then it gave the drop, right? Then it gave the drop. So it came, it actually broke below this low right here, as you can see. And then after it broke below that low, it retraced back, filled this little imbalance up in here, as you guys can see. And then what did it do? It dropped again, broke another low, and then this is where we currently sit right now. So if you're looking at where we currently sit right now, so I wanted to be able to show that to show kind of like now it's flowing to the downside. We were coming up, But now we've had some breaks of structure continuously, and now the market looks like it's going to continue flowing. Okay. So for me, one thing I wanted to do is, if you notice, whenever I look at setups, this is just me personally. Um, so I personally only like setting pendings for like the really big candles. If it's not like a really big candle, I'd personally just wait. So what I mean by that is, if you notice this big 1 hour candle, this is what I would set a sell limit off of, because it's nice, big, you know. The candles that are a little bit smaller, similar to this one is not as full as far as the body of the candle. I prefer to just wait for the market to get up here and see if I get a reaction. So basically what I would like to see, so market come up here, maybe take out some liquidity and then give me that drop. So possibly something like that. So this is why I have the zone marked up. But as you guys can see, you've been noticing the flow of the market. We're now here, right? Last high before the market broke another structure low. Now we're looking for a possible retracement around that 88.6, and then see if we can get a drop. I like to be able to see if we can, possibly get somewhere down here. But obviously anything that gives us that drop is going to be profit. So that's going to be Euro NZD. And then obviously to make sure y'all look into the look underneath the video to be able to view the link for the Telegram chat to where I send the trade ideas. So that's Euro NZD. What else am I possibly looking at? So I'm also possibly looking at CAD CHF. So let's look at CAD CHF, right? All right, perfect. So on CAD CHF, basically this is what I'm looking at. So obviously from what we can see, the market has been aggressively dropping ever since, was that November 4th? So the market has been dropping for 2 months straight, literally. Just selling off, right? Small retracements, some bigger than others, and then it just keeps selling off, okay? So best advice would be to continue looking for sales until you get some strong structure breaks, okay? So the first instance that there may have been momentum starting to push to the upsides whenever the market created this high right here, okay? Primarily because if you notice, the market never came back to sweep this low. That is ugly. The market never came back to sweep this low down here, okay? So it didn't come back to sweep that low, but it did come back up to take out this high, right? So at the moment that the market ended up taking that high, this is what we could now be doing. So it took this high, right? Now, this is going to be the last low before the new structure was broken. So now you do not want to see the market break back below this low, okay? So from that, when the market broke above this area, show you something real quick. When the market broke above this area, notice how it broke this area, right? My drawings are not pretty. Whoa. Let's try it. Close enough. When it broke this area, right? Notice how right up in here, as you can see where the market came back to react from. You got this big, remember, just in the last setup, Euro NZD, I told you about the big candle, right? With a lot of body mass on it. Notice that this is where the market came to react from before it did what? Continued to go higher and then broke another high. So now that this high has now been broken, we no longer have to wait for the market to break below this low. Now, this is the low that should be sustained. Why do I say that? So now that I say this low is the one that should be sustained, is because the market is now broken another high, right? Set the high, and then this would be the low. So in this range up in here is where I would assume that we could possibly get an opportunity to continue to take the buys even higher, right? Now remember, like I said, there is always going to be a risk knowing that this is an overall downtrend and we are looking to take buys in an overall downtrend. But we have had one, two major breaks of structure. Okay. So this is the primary reason why I have confidence going into this. Now, I ended up, just because I already have it marked up, I ended up finding a possible entry off of the 15-minute. So if I actually use a replay tool, this is pretty much, oh, this is pretty much what I've come to the conclusion of right here. So if I take a horizontal line, line it up right there, we can go ahead and take off this. So now you can see that this is what I'm looking for right here. Now, reason being, we have that last bearish down candle, right? Which reacted off of, as you can see over here, which was that 1 hour big institutional candle. So let me go back and show you guys again. So if we go back, we'll see. I don't remember what time frame that was on. Oh, yeah, right here. So remember, the market reacted off of this area over here. So the market reacted off of this area over here to the left. If we go back to that 15-minute, now it'll start making more sense. So notice that 2 hour zone that I marked off over here. This is where the market came, left that last bearish engulfing candle before the market ultimately took off in a complete opposite direction. And most importantly, what did it leave? This imbalance right here. So within that imbalance, right, that's where I would be looking for a possible opportunity to be able to get in. And like always, like I said, all these setups I will be sending out if and when they get close. Obviously, not every single one. Maximum, I'm only looking to take 2 setups within a 24-hour period max. So if all these, for whatever reason, happen to go at the same time, I'm only going to be looking to take the best 2. So as you guys can see right here, this is basically what I am looking for. So yeah. So this would be something for CAD CHF, right? Next one is going to be NZD USD. So I like NZD USD a lot. And we have 3 more setups to go over. So go to the NZDs. We go put in NZD USD. All right, NZD USD. So what we're going to be looking at on this is going to be pretty straightforward. So what I ended up seeing was, originally I had this 3 hour zone over here marked up on your NZD USD. I did not enter off of this candle primarily because I missed the original entry right here. It missed my buy limit by a little bit. Ended up coming up. Once I saw the market rally like this, I didn't really want to hold my pending, so I erased it. Ended up coming here, going up one more time, taking out this liquidity, then giving the actual move that I perceived to be what I was waiting for. So primary reason why I looked at this zone when I was looking for my initial trade is, if you notice, what the market do? Broke major level of structure, and I mean, since October, so 3 consecutive months, it's literally just been going up. Okay, so in this example, I am actually looking to go with the overall trend. So notice whenever the market came back here, as I said, got this initial activation, rallied up, dropped down, dropped back down again. And then the most important part that stuck out to me was we got this liquidity sweep. Okay, so before we got that last liquidity sweep, right after that, the market rallied up and then left a gigantic imbalance. Okay, gigantic imbalance. So me personally, what I was now looking for is I was looking for the best looking um, institutional candle. So on the 7 hour is personally where I found my favorite looking candle. So basically in this range is where I would like the market to come back before we possibly get that continuation to the upside. Now, if I go to the actual setup, you guys will see what it looks like. So notice, right, I got that 3 hour zone marked off over here to the left. You got your liquidity sweep right here. I can actually go ahead and mark that off. All right. So abbreviations I put is LQS. Go ahead and drop that down to the bottom. So we got the liquidity sweep, right? And from here, I went ahead and marked off the 50% of this candle, which you guys can see in this purple and kind of white. You can see the 50% right here. That gives me about a 33 pip risk. And yeah, so that'll be NZD USD. AUD USD is similar, looks a little different. So let's go over that. So AUD USD. AUD USD. So AUD USD. All right, cool. So AUD USD. Let me erase all these things. So similar. Market has been selling off, selling off, selling off, right? Then we reached the low down here back in October 13th. Ever since then, we've started trending up. So primarily, this one's pretty straightforward for me. So overall, we have a break of structure here. As you can see, this was the last relative high within like this range. You do have liquidity here. Do a little dollar sign. So you do have a little liquidity here, right? That the market could be going to get. Now, if you guys really just look at what's been going on, pretty simple. You know, we pretty much be looking to execute within this area to look for the continuation higher. So I think this one is pretty straightforward. I don't really have to do too much talking about this one. I mean, even if you want to look at some of the other aspects of the setup, you can see that the market left an imbalance here, right? Market came, filled in this imbalance up in here, reacted off of this candle, shifted higher, broke the structure high. Now we're looking to come back into this candle before we continue moving higher. So go to AUD USD so y'all can see the markup. And as you can see right there, similar to NZD USD, I actually marked off the 50%. And the risk for me is going to be a 30 pip risk, going for about 120 pips, a 1 to 4. And the reason why I'm doing this is because you guys got to obviously pause the video. You can look at the entry, the stop loss, the take profit, and then you guys can take that information and apply it. Now, keep in mind, I'm only looking to take these entries London and New York session, so I'm not doing anything in the Asian session or the Sydney session. Just keep that in mind. So if any of these happen outside of session, me personally, I would just pass it up altogether. So that's the reason why whenever I set a buy limit or sell limit, I will delete it once the session is ended if it hasn't activated yet. So say I set a buy limit or sell limit in the London session goes by, nothing happens. New York session goes by, nothing happens. I'm going to delete it. So personally for me, I'm Central Time. So usually I'll delete a setup if it doesn't activate between 1 a.m. and 11 a.m. So I'll put in the limit at 1 a.m. If it doesn't end up activating by 11 a.m. Central or 12 p.m. Eastern, then I'm just going to delete it and then wait for 1 a.m. again the following day to put it back in if it's still valid. Okay. So next one's going to be USD Chef, and then after that we only have one more. So almost at the finish line. So USD Chef, let's go ahead and do USD Chef, USD CHF. All right, so USD Chef. All right, so on USD Chef, similar, right? So downtrending, it's just been downtrending very, very aggressively. So with USD shift, what I'm paying attention to is this one actually looks good to continue to trend. Sometimes there's going to be opportunities to go against the trend or counter trend trade, but the generic thing that you're always going to hear across the board is the trend is your friend, right? The trend is your friend. Let me see what time frame that was on, the 6 hour. All right, cool. So even if I'm on a 1 hour, personally for me, the thing that sticks out is that the market did a liquidity sweep right here, right? So the market did a liquidity sweep, so where it swept this high, immediately reversed, and came and took out the lowest low, right? These are usually pretty textbook plays, so where I'll give you guys another example. If you go to settings and go to invert scale, you can make it look like, if it was for a buy. So if this was for a buy, it would have swept the low, took the high, and then you would like to have waited for it to come back, right? And essentially, so if I go ahead and reverse that, it's the same thing. Now, I ended up seeing the 6 hour being the time frame that I like the most. So what I'm going to do, actually, is erase these, like so. And then it would be like this. So I like the market to come up, then give us that drop. So basically like that. And if I now go back and show you guys my actual markup, excuse me, you'll see exactly what I have. Once again, 50% marked off. 50% is not always marked off. It's just for me personally. I don't take a trade with a stop loss more than 40 pips. So I do my best to fit it within less than 40 pips for my risk or my stop loss. And sometimes the 50% is what's necessary to get that stop loss small enough for me to feel comfortable executing the trade. So 32 pip risk. But obviously, if the stop loss size is not as a big of a deal for you, obviously on the same trades I'm marking up, you could just mark it up at the opening of the candle if that makes you feel more comfortable. Because obviously 50% does reduce the chances of the trade activating because it's a deeper retracement. But I have enough confidence and experience to know where I would like to look for the market to fill me in, right? So similar, right? If y'all were to pause this video, you guys can see where I put my stop loss. Me personally, I always put my stop loss 3 pips above the high or the low to account for spread. So 32 pip risk, and then personally, I'm going for about a 4-to-1, about 128 pips for the take profit. And finally, we have USD CAD. USD CAD is similar. So if you guys look at how versus going to a completely new, I guess, broker feed, I'll just stick with this one to end it off for the video. So you guys can see there's a lot of action that happened over here. Took advantage of some plays over here to the left. But primarily, it's two things that can actually happen on this one. This one is possibly a little more tricky. We do actually have a 4-hour candle a little bit above these highs. This actually could be liquidity. So the market could possibly come up to this 4-hour candle before it sells off. But for me, I was taught a very important lesson. Don't go off of what you think, go off of what you see. So it could be me thinking it could go up here, but what I see is there's a strong chance that if what I'm looking at is accurate, the market should be valid to just simply come back up here and then continue dropping. The reason why I say that is because even if this area up here could be considered liquidity, right? These highs up here could be considered liquidity. What's already happened is the market's already broken a structure low, right? Given a retracement. The retracement did not break these highs, right? Then after it gave this retracement, what did it do? It drops lower again to do what again? Break another structure low. To do what again? Give another retracement. The retracement doesn't do what? The retracement does not break the previous high. And then once again, what does it do? Broke another structure here. And then broke a primary structure over here to the left. So let me erase all these. Right? So now at this point that we have, what I see on this 3-hour time frame, okay, the last high right here that broke these last two lows, this should be valid for a continuation. So what we should get is come up here once again 50% and then get that fall off. Okay, so that's what I see. And obviously, like I said, all these setups that I just put, you guys can stop it, pause it, go back, rewatch it, and then keep it pushing. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment for some, feedback. And with that being said, see you guys later. Peace.